Developing here in Tucson, teachers at Catalina High School took part in an educational rally today to bring attention to spending limits that the state government has put in place.
And how those limits can put educational funding at risk. News 4 Tucson's Eric Fink joins us live with more. Eric.
Amanda, Sean, the state legislature put an education spending cap in the Arizona state constitution back in 1980. It has not been changed since 1986. And now some teachers worry that if something is not done by the end of the month, public schools could stand to lose more than $1 billion statewide. And some fear that could mean school closures before the end of the year. A fierce Friday wind did not deter these teachers at Catalina High School trying to draw attention to a vital education issue confronting lawmakers up in Phoenix. Teachers say the statewide education funding cap must be raised in the next few weeks, or schools could lose $1.2 billion. Educators say that would be nothing short of devastating.
If they cut that much, and they'll have to, TUSD will stand to lose $58 million, which is the equivalent of about 52 schools and programs and teachers across the district.
The education spending cap has not been raised in 36 years. Teacher Ruth Mann worries lawmakers won't act to protect her students and her colleagues.
I'm afraid that they're not going to lift the cap and that we're going to end up not having school the last critical part of the school year.
Now, this education spending cap does not affect private or charter schools. The education funding cap is a yearly number based on population and inflation. That number is already included in the state budget, and the deadline to override that cap is March 1st. It takes a 2/3 majority in both the state House and state Senate to do so. If that cap is not raised, cuts could go into effect as soon as April 1st. We're live tonight here at Catalina High School in Midtown. I'm Eric Fink, News 4 Tucson.
Thank you, Eric. A Tucson police officer accused of unprofessional conduct following an incident that was caught on video last November. News 4 Tucson's Lupita Murillo joins us live from TPD headquarters with information that has been uncovered regarding the officer's background. Lupita.
The incident happened in the parking lot of a Midtown Tucson restaurant. It shows the officer taking down 2 women to the ground. Now we're learning more about the officer's history of misconduct during his 17 years on the force.
Oh my God!
This video taken by Nicole Whitted back on November 14th shows off-duty TPD officer Robert Shalusky holding down Whitted's sister Brittany and their mother Michelle Aloisi. Whitted says they were crossing the parking lot when Shalusky came speeding towards them. Things turned physical as they walked by him to get into their car.
Everything he did was completely unprofessional.
The News 4 Tucson investigators asked TPD to turn over all internal affairs reports involving Officer Shalusky, who has been with the department since 2004. There were a total of 25 allegations dating back to 2006. 10 of those resulted in discipline, ranging from a written reprimand to a 40-hour suspension.
It was just shocking to see that many incidents.
This is an officer who needs to be seriously looked at with respect to his fitness for duty and whether he should be interacting with the public.
Among the more recent allegations against Officer Shalusky in 2018, there were 3 separate complaints of rudeness or unprofessional conduct during traffic stops. In each case, an internal investigation by TPD showed no violations of department policy.
Very active police officers are the ones who receive the most complaints. And in this case, they were all unfounded.
Officer Shalusky's attorney, Mike Story, tells the News 4 Tucson investigators the parking lot security video shows it was the women who instigated the incident.
And thank God for the surveillance cameras in the parking lot because it showed what actually happened. He has acted appropriately in all prior situations, despite the complaints. So this would be out of character.
This is just an unacceptable and unfortunate situation.
Whitted says her sister and her mother were left shaken by the incident, and they want TPD to look into his behavior.
We want this internally investigated. We want this all to come to an ultimate conclusion that is the right one.
Right now, the department is conducting their investigation into the November 14th incident, and they are not commenting. Of course, we're going to continue to follow this case and bring you new details as we uncover them. If you have something you would like the investigators to look into, contact us at 955-4444 or email us at investigators@kvoa.com. Investigating for you, Lupita Murillo, News for Tucson.